If you're in the trading card world nowadays and you're thinking about what cards you should send off to get graded, or if you should grade this card or start getting cards graded, we're going to talk about why I think that it's a bad idea to send most any card off to get graded right now, especially if you're in the world of trying to flip or sell those cards once they come back. Now, if you're just a collector or if you're a diamond hands hodler, then it's a different story. Feel free to grade whatever you want to grade. Obviously, collectors are just grading cards that they want to add to their personal private collections. But for the people out there who are in the business of selling and flipping cards, grading cards, at least for the next 6 to 12 months, probably should be put on hold completely. For the first major reason is that we've seen recent auctions like PWCC and eBay auctions retrace quite a bit as far as the bigger graded cards. And that's going to trickle down to all the cards. When the bigger cards can't fetch their usual prices or even surpass their last prices, then the rest of the cards in the hobby are going to taper off as well. It's not really cause for panic, but it is a sign that more caution should be observed moving forward until we see a little bit of a turnaround. Also, the inventory that we are going to see in the mid to late summer coming up here is going to far outpace demand. There are going to be way more cards hitting the market very soon than people who want them. And that's just the truth. I'm sorry to say, that's the reality. When it came to late last year, Q4 of last year, there were so many cards that got sent off to get graded because it was a sure thing. It was a sure bet. I've got this $5 WotC Pikachu common. I'm going to send it off. It's going to get a 9 or a 10. It's going to come back and I'm going to make $200 or $1,000, whatever the case may be. And back then, it might have made sense. It was a sure bet, free tendies for everybody. But that's not the case anymore. The backlog at PSA means everybody's cards are on hold. And the price tapering off on graded cards means those free tendies might not be so free, or you might have to wait a while for your tendies to come out of the deep fryer, meaning cards are not going to be as liquid moving forward. Another big consideration to keep in mind is that reprints will devalue the price of graded cards, especially and probably only modern cards. And reprints are happening. I promise you reprints are happening. This isn't just some hype, scared chat. You see these boxes here back here? These are reprints right here. These are reprints. I did not have these boxes a month ago, even 2 weeks ago, and they're full of evolutions. XY evolutions. I don't know if they're reprinting XY evolutions or if they're just re-releasing packs that they already had printed into collectors boxes, but these are reprints. I promise you these are reprints. At least some of them. There's Champion's Path in there too. Those are reprints. And they've been going out all across the nation. Distributors have them in stock. Card stores, I watch the listings on Amazon, on eBay. I watch this stuff very closely. I see the inventory throughout the nation, where it's going up, where it's going down. We're getting reprints. I think I've seen other channels say as much as well. So I promise you that this is product that was just recently printed. And reprints are going to devalue the price of graded cards, modern cards. It's a fact. When there's more circulation in the supply chain, people don't need to pay $1,000 for that XY Evolutions card in a PSA 10 anymore. They can just go buy a $5, $10, $20 pack and crack it themselves. I'm not saying that all demand for graded cards is going to drop off precipitously, but what I am saying is it is going to slow down because everybody wants to get the raw card and everybody wants to grade it. Everybody wants to make $1,000. It's not just you. You're not the first person to say, I could take this raw Charizard, I can get it slabbed, and I could turn it from a $200-$300 card into $1,000 card. I'm a genius. holy cow, my mom was right. My mom was right this whole time. I'm a genius. It's not just you, okay? So everybody wants to get into that game, which means everybody's going to be looking for the edge. So it's something to keep in mind moving forward. And you can always grade a card later, okay? So you can always leave a card raw now, wait to see how the market evens out, and then if this card is still a hot item, or you think this card is about to spike, then send it off to get graded. But you can't unring that bell. I can't unspend the money to get this Charizard graded. So this card has to fetch the premium that I need it to fetch in order to hit my margin, or I have to hold it until it does. But if this was still a raw card and I had only bought it for $100, I could afford to sit and wait and maybe take slimmer margins, or, keep in the back of my mind that, hey, I could always get it graded. I'm watching two markets now, not just one market. Now that it's graded, I'm just watching the Charizard base set unlimited market for PSA graded 8s. That's the one market that I'm watching. But if it wasn't slabbed, I'm watching the market for raw Charizard base set unlimiteds. I'm also watching the market for the graded ones to see, hey, is it time to get it graded? So it's something to keep in mind. You can't unring that bell. Raw cards are just going to be more liquid than graded cards. And I was just joking about a couple minutes ago, scalpers and the people who want to get into the flipping, and scalping's not a dirty word with me. That's, flippers or scalpers, they're looking for the edge just like you are. They're looking for the cheap raw card that they can get slabbed and sell it for 10x, 20 to 100x what they bought it for. So there is a consideration to make, and there are obviously concessions to this point, and it's cards that have a proven track record, like your WotC Charizards or your WotC Hollows, cards that it doesn't really seem like demand is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And even if it retraces what's 10, 20% on the card, it'll come back eventually. Or cards, if you're a collector, that you just want to have slabbed for your collection. And much respect to the people out there who just want to slab cards for the collection. It's like this card. I'm never going to sell this card. It's my Charizard, and it's not going anywhere. Unless some unforeseen event happens and one of my kids has a hospital bill or something like that. But for the most part, it's probably never going to go anywhere. Just some food for thought today. Getting back to the main thesis of this video, don't grade your cards. I would highly advise against getting any cards graded right now, especially with the backlog. You send a raw card in today, you're going to get it back in 12 months, 18 months. Who knows what the market price of that card, especially if it's like a junk modern card, if it's this reverse hollow Clefairy Japanese, it's just a junk modern card. Who knows if you could even sell it at break even when it comes back in 12 to 18 months. So the worst case scenario is you sit on the card and see what happens and make a decision down the road. You can always spend the money later. If you move too quickly into getting a card graded, you're increasing your cost basis for that card, and you're kind of stuck until you can sell it at the price point that you need to sell it at. All right, well, thanks for watching the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thinking is about grading cards nowadays. What's your move? I got boxes of WotC stuff back there that's all ungraded. What would you do? Would you sit on it ungraded? Do you think that raw cards are going to be more liquid, at least for the foreseeable future? Or are you, bulls on parade, full steam ahead? Let me know in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.